Hey guys, welcome back to this channel. We're gonna be freaking out today. We're gonna be doing a mid-year book freakout freaking tag. A mid-year book freakout tag. So I have questions. Do I have questions? I have questions and I have answers. Question number 1. The best book you read so far in 2020. What the heck do you mean? Already choose one? I think so far in this year I had about like 5 to 6 books rated 5 stars, so let me pick one. I have a lot of them, but I don't think I'm gonna be mentioning this specific book in this video anymore, so I'm gonna mention it right now. The best book is The Shining by Stephen King. Yeah, The Shining, 5 stars. I think this is one of the best books I read this year because I was obsessed with reading this book. This book got me through some hard times, and this book just made so much for me, and it didn't disappoint, and I got everything I wanted from this book, and I'm glad I loved it because everybody is obsessed with this, and for a reason. It's great. Question number 2. The best sequel you read so far in 2020. This year actually was one of the years that I read a lot of new authors, a lot of new books, like standalones. I read only 2 sequels. The Ezra's Elevator, Series of Fortunate Events, and I wouldn't say that's the best. And also, I finished the Grishaverse trilogy, and I read Ruin and Rising by Leigh Bardugo. I wouldn't call it the best finale, I wouldn't call it the best sequel in the world, but for me, this thing was like 4 stars, and compared to Ezra's Elevator, this was far more superior in my eyes, so yep, this was the best sequel. Question number 3. New release you haven't read yet, but want to. I am interested in reading The Other People by C.J. Tudor. I wasn't interested in this book when it just came out in January, but since I read The Chalkman, I am in love with C.J. Tudor and I want to check more things out. And another book that came out that I'm interested in reading, but it's not like I'm not in a hurry to get to it, is If It Bleeds by Stephen King. It's a collection of short stories, and I love Stephen King. I want to read all of his books eventually. I am in the process of doing so, as you can see, but I'm interested in reading the book. But just I'm not in a hurry. It's gonna get cheaper over the years. I'm waiting for that. Yes. Question number 4. Most anticipated release for the second half of the year. I said it many times and I'm gonna repeat myself again because I'm so excited for Mallory by Josh Malerman, which comes out in July 21st, I believe. And I thought that it's gonna come out in June, but it's not. Maybe I was wrong, but I'm still waiting for the book to come out, and I'm hopeful that we'll be able to get my hands on it and read it this year. I'm not sure, but I'll try my best, that's for sure. Also, I'm really interested in reading Anxious People by Frederick Buckman. Again, a new author that I found this year and I fell in love with, and now I'm interested to read everything by him. Anxious People is coming out in August 20th, so. Question number 5. Biggest disappointment. Oh man, I had some. Unfortunately, the biggest disappointment that I had this year goes to A Darker Shade of Magic by Victoria Schwab. Oh my gosh, you guys, I don't know how anyone can like this book, and I totally didn't. I wanted to DNF this book so many times. If it wasn't for Magical Readathon, I would not even push myself. I was so upset and disappointed with how much I didn't enjoy this book. I wanted to like it. I had really high expectations about this series because it's so well loved and people are talking about it constantly, buying multiple copies of this book and just like Victoria Schwab. But I didn't get the hype. I didn't get why everybody is so obsessed with this book. It felt like a draft to me. It didn't feel like a finished copy. And there's so many things that could have been done with the story, with the world, and it just wasn't delivered. And I'm just like, man, it was so disappointing. Definitely. I will never forget this disappointment and letdown of the book. Question number 6. Biggest surprise. Oh, biggest surprise. I have one. When I bought this book, I wanted to love it so much, but I honestly did not have any expectations because I didn't really see or hear anyone reading the book and talking about it positively, but when I saw this book, I really wanted to like it, and I'm so excited that I Loved it! A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. This book took me by a big surprise. I didn't expect this one to do so much for me. The reason why I didn't expect so much out of this book is because it's YA. YA mystery is usually like lacking a lot. This felt like YA, and this felt like it was for people who maybe don't read mystery thrillers that often, but the writing I really clicked with, and it was just like, it was joy. It was pure joy. Question number 7. Favorite new author? Debut or new to you? As I mentioned, CJ Tudor is my new love, my new everything. I am just like so ready to dive in her writing more. So complicated and exquisite, and I just loved this book so much. Definitely CJ Tudor. Not gonna pass a very important one. Frederick Buckman, A Man Called Ove was one of the best books I read this year, 5 stars, and oh, his writing was so delicious and great, and I'm just ready to read everything by him, as you probably could tell already. Question number 8. I don't have fingers and I'm holding a phone. Sorry, no more finger showing signs. Newest fictional crush. I don't fall in love with characters. I do not consider characters to be a crush. I'm married, in fact. I can't do that. I can't do this stuff. This is no, that's wrong. Question number 9. Newest favorite character. This I can do. I couldn't go with anything else but Joe from You by Caroline Kepnes. Joe was everything to me this year, and the stuff that he did brought me joy. And it sounds weird, I know, he killed people, but I enjoyed him, and I enjoyed how unreliable he is. I enjoyed how just messed up he is and stuff that he did. It was just great and pure, and I want more, and I cannot wait to read Hidden Bodies because it's been too long. I need to get to it already. Come on. Question number 10. Book that made you cry. There were a lot of books that I could probably mention, and I really wanted to get as many books as I read into this video, but there were a lot of books that made me sob, such as The Hate You Give or The Night, but honestly, The Man Called Ove made me whip my eyes out. I was just sobbing. Also, A Good Girl Guides to Murder, there's a scene with a dog that made me cry, but The Man Called Ove, oh my gosh! It's heartbreaking, it's great. I haven't read Mitch Albom this year yet, so far Frederick Buckman is doing the crying for me, thank you. Question number 11, the book that made you happy. I mean, you made me happy, and the stuff that was happening made me really happy. But if we're talking about like joy, like joyful, like actual pure happiness, I think I would go with Harry Potter and Sorcerer's Stone. This is my first time reading Harry Potter ever in my entire life, and I couldn't take the grin off my face while reading this book. The nostalgia of the movies of my childhood was there, and the book is really close to the movie, surprisingly close. So it was just like watching the movie all over again, but with just a little bit more to it. And yeah, this was just really joyful, and that made me really, really happy. Question number 12. Most beautiful book you've bought so far this year or received. I haven't received anything, obviously. I'm a new channel. Who's receiving books? Not me. But what I just covered everything, so I cannot see anything. But I would go with something blue, even though I don't like color blue. I don't like wearing blue. It doesn't fit me really well. I think The Inexplicable Logic of My Life is very pretty, or my newest House of Furies. This dark blue is just calling my name, and both of those are really pretty. And the last question, number 13, is what books do you need to read by the end of the year? You kidding me? All of them. I'm sure this is the answer for all of the booktubers. I would really love to read as much as I can from my rainbow shelf, because I like that, you know, I can have an entire shelf that looks pretty and is all red. But specifically, I think The Story Life of A.J. Ferkley I'm really, really excited to read. Britt Meyer was here. I'm really interested in Frederick Buckman's books. Salt to the Sea. I want to really try Ruta Sepetys, and I know it's historical fiction, that I really want some historical fiction. I want to read this one a lot. The Wife Between Us I want to read a lot, and I really want to read The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt this year as well. Just because, come on now, I can't have like a thick book like that sit for too long. It's not gonna be read. And of course, I have to read Meech Album this year, so this book absolutely is gonna happen this year, 100%, probably this month. This is my first middle year book freakout tag that I've ever done. It was so much fun. But thank you guys so much for sticking around and supporting me and commenting down below. It means the world. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next one. Bye!